Could Manchester City's recent defensive pairing signal the end of their vulnerabilities? Or are they just one bad game away from disaster? Today, we dive into all 5 Premier League teams that face Champions League action, starting with Manchester City. Their defensive line looked solid today, with Nathan Ake paired alongside Abdukodir Khusanov, a combination that finally managed to hold its ground. So what's their weakness? Aerial balls. But Galatasaray didn't exploit that, instead just relying on Victor Osimhen and Leroy Sané to sprint forward, using sheer pace to attack. However, we saw that City's backline was quick enough to cut off the first wave of attacks. Without that young defender, things would have been fine, which is why I kept thinking about how much better Aké and Khusanov look together. It's simple. If the defense holds, all you need is a goal up front to win. Erling Haaland, rested for a game, looked sharper from the start, acting as a focal point and scoring within 10 minutes. 2 weeks ago, he was missing easy chances against weaker opponents, so you can see how crucial rest is. Galatasaray were quite comical today, reminiscent of Wolves at home against Manchester United, trying to sit deep but constantly getting hit on the counter. And that played right into City's hands, especially with their so-called championship mode, where they don't even need to stretch play. Facing a compact defense, scoring becomes easier. The opening goal came from a quick attack down the middle, with Jérémy Doku threading a through ball for Haaland's semi-breakaway. Galatasaray, after attacking, forgot to press and didn't recover in time, leading to a half-hearted press that was useless defensively and left them vulnerable to counters. A similar situation happened just 2 minutes in, and by the 10th minute, they were already behind. Clearly, Galatasaray weren't awake yet for this away game, looking shaky early on. By the 28th minute, they sat deeper but were still disorganized. Doku didn't even need to go wide, strolling into the half-space unmarked before delivering a cutback for Rayhan Cherki's tap-in. Ultimately, Doku's pace was vital for stretching play, but after just over 30 minutes, he got injured. Without him, City struggled to create, and even Haaland looked less sharp. They only scored twice, both when Doku was on the pitch. The goal difference wasn't great, but luckily, Real Madrid were even more clueless today. Doku kept demanding the ball in central areas, turning and working hard, far more exhausting than just waiting out wide. That workload likely contributed to his injury, as overloading the middle took its toll. Other players showed similar fatigue, which explains why they're burnt out by Christmas. Rotational options are thin, especially on the wings, but today their sheer quality was enough without needing the new signings. Now, Liverpool. A viewer asked if we needed to predict this one. Come on, it's against a so-called Google team. But there was bad news. Like City, they lost their pacey attacker early, this time within 2 minutes, due to a sprint-induced muscle pull. This player is injury-prone anyway, and adapting to his first Premier League season makes it risky to overuse him. Liverpool's issues are worse than City's. No winter signings, all right-backs injured, and even their only speedster, Jeremy Frimpong, remains a dream target. Today's home game against Qarabağ was a must-win to secure direct progression to the last 16, avoiding the playoff hassle in February. But with backup players untrustworthy, even Rio Numoha, who came on late, lacked the dribbling to break through one-on-one. He managed simple 1-2s but fluffed his final shot. Mohamed Salah's influence dwarfs his. At least Salah's passing choices are superior. Numoha is still raw, and Federico Chiesa can't play wide, leaving Liverpool with no rotation options. They had to stick with starters, only making changes after leading 3-0 by the 50th minute, though those subs came too late at 6-0. The goals came easily, just like City's, counters and central breaks against a team that didn't compact well. The 15th-minute corner opened the scoring, followed by set pieces and more counters. But this meant fewer glimpses of their so-called champion mode with wide overloads. Oddly, Liverpool kept accelerating after going 3-0 up, racking up 6 goals. Was it necessary? Maybe to boost morale after recent poor results, pleasing home fans to avoid criticism. But this relentless speed risks losing possession and inviting counters, exposing their fragile midfield defense. a recurring issue even against weaker sides. Qarabağ lacked the quality to punish them, but the problem is clear. Weak pressing, sluggish build-up, and exhaustion. Playing like this in the Premier League is unsustainable. Hopefully, fewer games in February help, but history shows Jurgen Klopp's fast-paced sides often collapse around the Lunar New Year. Arsenal handled things much better, outperforming both Liverpool and City. Facing the Champions League's bottom team late in the group stage allowed heavy rotation. Martin Zubimendi finally got a rest, but Christian Nørgaard stepped up impressively, dictating tempo with quick decisions and creative passes. His through ball led to the second goal, and 2 late assists nearly set up Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal's control was firm even with backups, conserving energy for a strong second half. Like City and Liverpool, they exploited early counters against a groggy, lower league opponent. Victor Gyökeres loves bullying such teams. His breakaway goal, though initially mishit, had all the flair of his Primera Liga days. Ben White's long ball sparked another quick goal, this time finished by Kai Havertz, who, despite lacking pace, strolled into a semi-breakaway. Havertz, now a backup striker, contributed to the first and third goals with a through ball and a half-space run. He's still not fully fit, but weak opponents let him thrive. Eberechieze, playing out of position, also struggled, while Noni Madueke and Riccardo Calafiori, just back from injury, had off days. But Arsenal's depth means someone's always in form. If Madueke is unfit, others will step up post-winter. Could Nørgaard and Havertz be their next X-factors? Paris Saint-Germain versus Newcastle was bizarre. Newcastle avoided an early collapse but looked dazed as PSG's rapid transitions carved them open repeatedly. A handball penalty missed, and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia early injury didn't stop PSG's counters. Newcastle's high press just fueled them. Switching to 5 defenders changed nothing. Only after tiring and sitting deeper did they stabilise. Their 1-1 equaliser came from a set piece, not open play, highlighting their impotence in build-up. A slower, counter-based approach would have suited them better. No pressing might have even stolen a win. PSG, fresh from League One's lighter workload, thrived in this pace-heavy game. Newcastle's coach insisting on matching it was baffling. Premier League teams already endure a grueling schedule, and adding cup games makes such recklessness inexcusable. Finally, Tottenham. Their switch to 5 defenders worked this time, unlike against Bournemouth. In the Premier League, proactive attacking is key. Wins outweigh draws. But cup games, especially, must not lose group deciders, demand caution. Falling behind is catastrophic in one-off matches, so passive, error-forcing play is valid. Frankfurt obliged with defensive blunders, gifting 2 goals, 1 from a set-piece. 5 defenders provided stability, and this setup might even prep them for Manchester City next. Using the Bournemouth game as a dry run for Europe makes sense. Champions League progression brings revenue and eases February's workload. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment, like, and subscribe to show your support. See you next time.